Hey guys, it's Laurel. Welcome to FLOSSTUBE number 28. Today is Saturday, November 11th. It is Veterans Day, so I would like to send a big thank you out there to any veterans that may be watching. And if you know a veteran, be sure you give them a hug today. Let them know how appreciative you are of their sacrifices. So just wanted to welcome you back, or welcome you to if you just found me. If you are new, this is a YouTube channel about cross stitch and quilting. I do cross stitch first before I move on to quilting, just in case you're not into quilting. So I have a lot to show you today. A lot has been happening in the last couple weeks, and big things are coming up. So I'm super excited today to show you what's going on. So quick little life update. My daughter's doing good. Talk to her every day. She's really enjoying her time out on deployment, so she's enjoying it more than I am, and we'll just leave it at that. I do miss her, but I'm very proud of her and proud of what she's doing. I had a birthday last week on the 2nd. I would like to say that I'm not as old as I am, because I feel like I can only celebrate my birthday when both my children are here, and my daughter hadn't been here for the last 2, so I haven't aged in the last 2 years. I'm just going to go with that. I did have to get my license renewed, and I was a little sad because I had already done it once online and I needed to get my real ID. So I couldn't keep my picture from, 8 years ago that I was on there. So now I look like myself in my license picture, but that's okay. So had a great birthday. Went to a concert on my birthday night. It was fantastic. My husband took me. It was in Charlotte. While we were there, I actually got a text from my friend Paula, who was at the concert as well. She was like, "Does that happen to be this concert that you're at?" So she was down on the floor and we were up in the higher seats. So me and my husband got our phone out. We were zooming in, looking at everybody, and we found her. So it was really cool that somebody was there with us. But great concert. We stayed in Charlotte Thursday night, and then we got up Friday. Drove to Hendersonville, ate at this fantastic deli. It is fantastic. It's our favorite place to eat in Hendersonville. Then we went on to Asheville and went to Biltmore House for the Christmas candlelight tour. So that was nice. It was a nice way to celebrate my birthday. And now we're back to reality. So I did do some shopping on that trip with my husband's card. And he was very giving for my birthday. So I have a lot of haul to show you. So, but first I want to start. I have 2 FFOs. Who am I, right? Like, I don't even know what's happening right here, but I'm going to show you first. I FFO'd Old Glory. This is by Little House Needleworks. I feel like I had started this. I'm pretty sure I started this in a mania. I'm going to try to not shake you, but I have so much stuff stacked up here with you. I started this in a mania, and I finished this when we were in Texas for my daughter's graduation. Me and my husband and my son flew to see her graduate from basic, and I finished this. I think it's while we were there, not on the flight, but I've had it finished, and it's not very big, and I was going to do a pillow, and then I told you last video, I'm like pillowed out right now. I'm like, everything can't be a pillow. So I had a frame that I had gotten at Goodwill. I'm not a Goodwill kind of shopper, but I keep seeing all these really cool repurposed frames and different items that people are finishing on. So I made a run to our local Goodwill, bought a few things. They've just been sitting here in a pile. So when I was looking for some stuff, because I knew I wanted to do some finishing, I ran across this frame and it fit pretty good. So I popped it into this. And it's just this underneath it. I think it said something on it. I think it was like words. And it's just really just, it's not glued in there or anything. If Ivana saw the back of how this was finished, she would not be happy with me. But I kind of just taped it down to see what it would look like, and then I popped it in, and it's holding pretty good. So I'm just going to leave it for now just to see. I'm trying to decide if it needs some trim or something around it, but I kind of like it the way it is. It's simple. I like that big chunky frame. So I was very pleased with how that one turned out. And I'm going to duck in and out of the video frame a few times, and I apologize for that, but I can't do anything about it. I only have so much room in here, and like I said, I have a lot of stuff out here. So the next finish that I had done this one, I don't even remember when I finished it, but as soon as I finished it, I was like, oh, I can't wait to get this finished, and I'm going to order the other 3 seasons. I haven't ordered them yet, but I'm going to. This is the Drawn Thread. This one is Simply Autumn, upside down. I don't know how that happened, but anyway, Simply Autumn. I did order this as a kit. It's on 32 count linen, and it's stitched 1/2, which I wasn't sure about when I started, because I still wasn't really in love with linen at this point, but I really like how it turned out. So I couldn't decide how I wanted to finish it. It's too small this way to take it to get it, or it's probably right at the limit of what they will do like at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, because it's so small. But I just don't want to put that much money into it because framing's gone up, and I just wasn't sure. So I was like, I'm just going to let it sit. When I finish all 4, I will go back and see about getting them finished. Like I said, I hadn't ordered the other 3 yet, but my mom came up, I don't know when was she here? I don't know. She was up for something, and she brought these frames, and she'd asked me about these frames several times. She was like, do you want these? Do you want these? Do you want these? I was like, no, I don't want those frames. I don't want them. She brought them anyway. They're perfect for these. And I have she brought me like 5 or 6, and I need to get the other ones back out and see if they're all the same size. But if they are, I'm going to finish all of them in this frame because I really love it. You probably won't see it now. I've just been babbling about it, right? And I don't have a back on it yet, but this is how it turned out. Isn't that cute? I just love it. So I had posted a picture on Instagram, and Stitchy Linda commented, her and Pete, who is Old for Pete's Sake on Instagram, they are planning on doing all these. So I was like, oh, please let me know when you start, because I would love to stitch the other ones. I feel like I'll be a little motivated if I see them, which Linda's a fast stitcher, so we'll have to see. But so be looking. Linda is, I'm sure you all know, she's doing a floss tube now with Fine Farm Girl. I think it's now just called like Chrissy and Linda. I can't remember, but I'll put it down below. But they're really fun to watch. But very pleased with how that one came out. Okay. So then I had some whips that I worked on. I lost a few days stitching because, we were traveling, and I'll gladly trade out some stitching for some birthday time with my husband. But I took one because I felt like it would be easy for me to work on in the car. I didn't really get in a good rhythm on the trip, but once I got home, I've been taking it to work on my lunch hour and working on it, and I'm really enjoying it. So this is Quaker Pumpkins by Hello from Liz Matthews. I am not doing these words at the bottom. I kept saying Autumn Blessings, but it's Autumn Harvest, which is a recharting that I got off Gumroad. And I listed that previously in a video. So it has leaves right here instead of the birds. And then it says, Autumn Harvest. And I think I might leave this bird in. I don't know, but I'm stitching this with the DMC colors listed, and it's on a piece of 16 count Aida that I coffee tea dyed. And this is where I am. So I did a little more across the top. I did autumn. I think I had the A. I did the rest of autumn. I did the leaf. I came down the side, did the little bit at the bottom, and I outlined the next pumpkin. So I really like working on it. It's kind of hard for me to put it down, but there's a couple other things that I'm close to a finish on. This, I don't think I can get finished before, we start into Christmas and everything. So I'm probably going to put that one away for a little bit. This is one that I'd started a couple videos out of the Winds of Autumn book. It is, where's some floss? It is Waiting for the Harvest. This was my first one in my new start rotation. This was a stash small. So I started this. I'm just stitching it with 310 and it's on a piece of 32 count brash by Picture This Plus. I should be done with this, but I'm not. All I've really done since the last video is filled in this part of the next pumpkin. But I want to get this one done. I should be able to get that one done in November and not carry it over till next season, in theory. And then I haven't shown this one in a while, but I have been working on it. Ooh, Wildflowers by Kathy Barrett. Olivia, is that right? Olivia B. I'm blank. I think hers was probably done at this point. The last time I saw it in one of her videos, she was almost done. And I think she is using the called for fabric and MPIs. I am using 28 count Murky, and I'm using the DMC colors that are listed. This one I'm trying desperately to get done by New Year's Day because that's when I started it last year. I am going to change the words on it, and I've talked about that a couple times, so I won't go back over that. But this is where I am. I've been filling in, I've been cross-stitch coloring. So at night, if I'm just really, really tired, or if we're watching something that I'm really, really interested in TV, I'll get this out and just do fill in because, you know, then I don't have to count or anything. So that's coming along nicely. So next, I had 2 new starts. So I talked about my new start rotation that I have going on. Now, I have decided that if I have something like a birthday start, a Christmas start, New Year's Day start, Thanksgiving start, those are not going to be counted in my new start rotation. I think that anything like that that's special, or if it's a sow with some friends, I would definitely stop. Pam, if you want to start something, you should let me know. And I'm in start mode. I'm like so totally in start mode right now. So this is my birthday start. Quaker's Hometown. I won't attempt to pronounce all the other. But I bought this from Sherry at Colorado Cross Stitcher. She does carry several of their charts, and they are just beautiful. So I started making these little cards. Everybody's been doing the cards to list all their stuff. So I thought I would try it. Sorry. I thought of nothing else that would help me during FLOSSTUBE to remember. So this is on 36 count Bramble by Picture This Plus. And I am using the floss colors are a little bit different. I'm using DMC Blanc 37.99 and 8/16. And this is where I am. I started top middle. I like to start top left, but I wanted, this is going to be a long-term project, so I wanted it to kind of be even, the fabric, if that makes sense. I don't know, just weirdness. So I started that center motif. And I thought this should be, like, in my mind, I should be able to do, like, one motif between each FLOSSTUBE video. But obviously, I didn't finish one. But I haven't been working on it the whole time, so. But I really like how it looks on this fabric. And then Monday, we had gotten home from our trip. We were just gone Thursday through Sunday. We drove back Sunday. And then Monday, I was like, it's Monday. Do I want to start something new? I shouldn't, because I have so much stuff going on. I'm out of project bags. Like, I shouldn't start anything new. So I did start something new. So the next, on my New Start Rotation was a new chart, small. So I bought this one a couple of videos, A Joyful Purpose by JBW. I had said this had 3 colors. It only has 2. I had bought a 3rd color for another project. This when I got it out to start, I was like, what? Why is this color in here? This reads as red, but it's actually pink. So I am doing it on, I think it's the called for. It's 36 count white winter moon. Is that right? Let me just see. Well, it's a secret. Yeah, white winter moon, that's called for. And I'm doing it with the DMC colors that it calls for, which is 3731 and 3350, which are these pinks. Ooh, they look super bright right there, but they're not that bright. They're a little more muted. But I just have a small start. I worked on this a couple nights. I think it's going to be really pretty. Really pretty. I don't know if you can hear my poor husband. He's in there sick on the couch. He feels terrible. So if you hear coughing, sneezing, hacking, it's just him being sick. Poor fella. So that is what I've been working on. So I do have a Thanksgiving Day start planned, and I've showed this a couple times, so I'm just going to show you the chart. Dwelling Place by Teresa Kogut. Me and Jan from Hoop It Up with Jan are going to start this on Thanksgiving Day. So if y'all are interested, come start with us. We don't know. She had a new video out yesterday, so if you haven't seen it, you need to go over and watch Jan. She'd said we didn't even talk about a hashtag or anything. I don't know if there might already be a hashtag out for this one. I don't know, but it's so pretty. I would like to do also this pillow and this pillow, but I'm starting with the big one. So I need to get busy on my birthday start, because once I start on this one in Thanksgiving, it's going to be a lot. I did just a teeny tiny little bit of work on my focus whip this month, which I knew I wouldn't get a whole lot done. So I'll show that the next time I get a little hunk done. It is Carolina Amelia Trowel by... I think it's With Thy Needle. I think it's a Brenda Gervais. I'm a blank right now. But anyway, I did do a little bit on that one. I have not worked on my Whipco piece. Yeah, I did work on last month's Whipco piece, and it's almost finished. So I hope to have that finished by next video, and I can show you that. So now I want to show you haul. It's excessive, and I know that. But it was my birthday, and that's all I'm going to say. So I will settle down on haul for a little bit. I do have to say, I watched Teresa Garden Goose Stitcher yesterday. She is planning on not buying any charts in 2024. None. 0. She's going to keep a list of all the ones that she would like to purchase and just hold on to it. And then at the end of the year, she is going to see which ones she still really wants and then buy them then. I am so impressed with that. I can't do that. I have 0 willpower. I could never do that. But I'm impressed that she's doing that. So, wow, Teresa is all I can say about that. So, all right. So, first, did I get all my stuff? I'm going to grab a stack. All right. So, first, there was a freebie. I don't know, reading a newsletter or something. I don't know. But Sassafras Samplers, there was a free Elizabeth Cooper chart. I think that this was just something, I can't remember. I feel like she was doing it for her birthday month. She had this out there for free. I don't think you can get it now, but this is the chart. And I'm all about a free chart, and I'm all about a sampler, so check and check. So I went ahead and printed that one off. I don't have immediate plans to start it, but I couldn't not print it off. I mean, it is pretty. Pretty. I do hope some people start stitching it. I just want to see if they change colors or what they do or what kind of fabric they use. I'm finding fabric is really hard for me to pick out. Like, I went back and forth so many times about what I was going to stitch dwelling place on that I about had myself stressed out over it. So I was, one of the shops that we went in while we were on our trip, I went in and I was like, okay, I'm not looking at any charts because, you know, I can order charts online anywhere. It's going to be the same chart. But, you know, fabric, linen, you know, every piece might look different. It might not look the same as what the picture looks like on the website. So I was like, I'm only going to buy linen in the store. I'm only going to buy linen. I went in looking for 36 count linen. They had 0. They had all these bins with fabric, and you get over to the 36 count and it was completely sold out. So I bought a bunch of charts. All right, first, choke myself up. First, I have a couple patterns that my daughter ordered me for my birthday. She actually ordered me 3, but one of them was on back order, and I think it just shipped the other day, so it should be coming. But she asked me to pick a couple out, and I picked out another drawn thread. I really like their charts. I mean, I really like them. Give Thanks. I feel like I saw this on somebody's FLOSSTUBE. I had it just marked as a, you know, on my wish list. So I picked it out. A lot of people are very into, there's been tons of like turkeys stitched this year. I see them all over everybody's FLOSSTUBE. I was like, I don't know about stitching a turkey, but this, oh yes, very much. So she got me that one, and she got me Brenda Sampler by Fox and Rabbit. I've been like stalking this to see when it would come out. When Fox and Rabbit had designed this for Brenda's birthday, I was like, oh. I mean, I just think that's the coolest thing ever, that somebody would design a chart for your birthday. I have Laura's, which I really want to start. And as soon as I saw this, I was like, yes, please. And I think I messaged Brenda not too long ago, and I was like, Brenda, do you know, are they going to release? Because I wasn't sure if they were going to release it or not. You know, sometimes they just might do that for their friend. And she said that they were waiting, I think, on the model to get stitched. But isn't that pretty? I love this. Like, any chart that has this grass like out like this, I don't know why, but I just love that. It's so pretty. And this border, I just think that's going to be so much fun to stitch. Love this. I don't know why I can't just draw a paycheck and not go to work, just stay home stitch. They're funny about that. They're funny about that. Where I work, they actually want you to come to work for work. All right, so Saturday of our trip, we got up and we did build more Friday night, and Saturday we were just going to go do whatever. I do want to tell you, if you are ever in a town that has a biscuit head restaurant, you need to go. The biscuits are like this big, they're like this thick, and they come with the most delicious goodiness ever. So we're all about food on a trip, in case you haven't noticed that from me talking about our trips. We're very much about local food and trying out the local places. We try to not eat at franchise places unless there's just no other choice, because you can eat a franchise place anywhere. Okay, side note. So Saturday, Friday night, I'd asked my husband, I said, we're really close to Waynesville. We're like 30 minutes from Waynesville, and there's a shop there that I watch her videos and I would like to go check it out. And he said, well, okay. He said, look and see, you know, what their hours or whatever. Well, I couldn't find hours anywhere. I don't know why. I had a hard time finding that. And he said, well, you know, we're in the mountains. If we drive an hour and the shop's closed, we just drove an hour in beautiful mountains because we love the mountains. So I was like, okay. So we got there. They were open. We went to Anabellas. Now, I want to tell you, I've watched her videos, and the little, the shop looks like a log cabin. And in the video, I was like, oh, she looks like she has a little bit of stuff. That'll be nice. Guys, she has so much stuff. So much stuff. It's like 3 stories, and it is just full of yumminess. Full. So this is a shop I went to. Everybody had bought out her 36 count. So then I'll just buy charts. It's fine. So we walked through the shop. She also has quilting fabric. So you know this was like a whammy for me. Like a cross-stitch store and a quilting store all in one. 3 levels. Yes. Super nice. Super nice. Elena's super nice. Her husband, super nice. Those puppies. Oh, I love a puppy. Okay, anyway, so we made one walk through in the shop, and I had my little basket, and I was adding stuff to it. And then I was like, okay, so we went through once, now we need to go through again. And I didn't go like detailed through. She had like a bucket of Plum Street, and I knew not to go through. I was going to buy every one that I didn't own because I was just in serious shop mode at that point. So I just kind of went through and grabbed some stuff, and my husband picked out a couple things, and he has really good taste. He picked out some good stuff. So he was actually in the office with Elaine checking out, and I was making one more sweep through, and I saw this one, Mint Creek Home, and I was like, that's so cute. I have seen this. I don't know how old it is, but I've seen this before somewhere, and I remember thinking, oh, that's really cute, and there it was in front of me, so I had to get it. I have never seen this one. I don't know. It's from, original release date was December 2014. It's by Heartstring Samplery. I love her stuff. I love it, and it's called Stitcher's Resolution. You see how pretty? It says on it, 1, when in doubt, always buy more linen and thread. Check. 2, stitch all day. Check. Oh, and absolutely no housework. Okay. 3, always start a new project before the last one is finished, requiring a return to number 1. Yes, 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 and yes. So I like that. Of course I like all these because I bought them. She had all of Annie, the Proper Stitchers charts. I haven't watched Annie's video yet with her Christmas releases, but she did say she's going to get those. So I got Clarissa's Garden Sampler. I like all the ones that she released, and I was so overwhelmed I didn't even know which one I wanted to buy. So I wound up not buying any of them yet. But then we got there, and I was like, okay, it's just meant to be. I should own this. So I bought it. A bunch of people have finished this one, and they all look beautiful. This one I've seen everywhere. I think Pam with Pam and Steph, or Just Keep Stitching, is stitching this mouse potato designs. No, mouse potato something. She, I think, has finished hers. And when it came out, this came out in, I don't know, fairly recently. But it was on my list, and I was like, ooh, ooh. But then I never bought it. But Jeanette Douglas, and her stuff is always beautiful. And this one's good because you can do, you know, one little motif at a time, put it down, move on to something else, come back. I like that. This one my husband found. I don't know that I have ever seen this. It says copyright 2022, so somehow I just missed this, I guess. I don't know. But it's by Little House Needleworks, and it's the Anne Goodall sampler. That is so pretty. So pretty. He had, he walked over. I was on one side of the shop, and he came over. He said, hey, look at this. And it was Regina Hable. And I was like, I actually just bought that one. He was like, oh, okay. So he went over and put it up, and he came back with this one. I was like, oh, yes, please. Isn't that pretty? I know it's ridiculous. But it's okay. Blackbird Designs, bringing good cheer. So pretty. I have all the Christmassy ones. And I do want to start Christmas garden, Christmas Day is my thought, but I got to get the stuff for it. But isn't that pretty? Berry bowl. You know my recent obsession with berry bowls. Little birds. Because everybody needs to stitch little birds. I didn't have my list. I'm pretty sure I don't own this. Because I feel like I would have started it already. If I do, I'll just share. And then the last one, there was an end. My husband found this one. This one was released in 23. I don't remember seeing this. I don't know how I missed this. It's Pansy Patch Quilts. Red Bunny sampler. I mean, what? Isn't that pretty? Can you? I don't know. It's kind of hard to see with the glare. I love that. It reminds me of, I want to do the Americana Red also, but this one is so pretty. It's done with Belle Soie Silk by Classic Colorworks in Tulip. And it gives a DMC conversion. I don't know, I might splurge. I've never tried the Belle Soie, but I think I might. Okay, so I'm going to need to live till I'm like 250 years old at this point, just for what I own in cross stitch charts right now. Or I'm going to need to like find a way to stitch a lot faster than what I'm stitching. A lot faster. I do have some charts on my wish list for Christmas, and I want to get the Book of Days. So I'm going to try to, I'll probably buy the Book of Days and just put the other stuff on my Christmas list. My family draws names, so that's easy for them if I put charts on there. So I'm going to try to settle down just a little bit. But it was all right in front of me, and it was just right here. It was just like here. So I bought them. My husband bought them. So that's all I have for my cross stitch portion. I know that a few of you told me you don't watch the quilting, and I understand that if you're not interested. I watch several floss tubers that do cross stitch and knitting. I can't knit. There is a lady. Oh my goodness. I knew I should have written her name down. She watched my videos. I'm so sorry. I watched your video, and she is knitting the most beautiful sweaters. I mean, they're beautiful. And that made me go, ooh, but I just can't have another hobby. And I'm so sorry. I can't remember her name, but I'm going to list it down below because she's a quilter and a knitter. And if you are into either one of those, you should go watch that. Anyway, side note. So I'm going to move on to quilting. So if you're not interested in staying for that, I plan on being back in 2 weeks for an update video. If you think you might be interested in quilting, just hang out for a minute. I'm going to go over what I'm going to take to camp with me, because camp's coming up next week. But I'm going to start with haul, because I do have some haul from quilting also. Okay, so also at Anabellas, I bought some fabric. Primitive Gatherings. She had the red and white gatherings book. The quilts in here are just, they're jaw dropping. That's all I can say. I think that's beautiful. There are several in here that will just like stop you in your tracks. Look at that. Oh. Lisa Bonjean is amazing. Amazing. So that was there, just sitting there looking at me. And my husband, I looked at it and I was like, I'm going to try to be good, because I had a lot of stuff in my basket at that point. And then my husband knows me, and he saw it and he was like, hey honey, look at this. And I was like, oh. So I took that as a sign that I should buy it. Also, Anabellas. Now I have to say, she had some fat quarter bundles. Oh, so pretty. It was so hard. She displays her stuff very well. It's very hard to not buy all the things that were there. But I did buy some jelly rolls because you know I love jelly rolls. I talk about it. Any pre-cut, I'm totally in. So I bought Teresa Kogut Bright Stars. It's an amazing fabric line. Love it. I probably own some of it somewhere in my stash of stuff, but I did get that one, and I got Hometown by Lori Holt. That's very pretty. I didn't used to like this kind of fabrics, but I am just really drawn to it here lately. I guess it's like they say your taste buds change every 7 years. I don't know that my quilt tastes change. I just add things to what I like. The other ones don't. I don't quilt like other stuff. I just have new stuff that I like. Okay. And then, now before we were on Anabellas, we went to, there's a shop in Hendersonville. We have been there before. It is a very nice shop. It has a lot of stuff packed into it. They have a lot of creative grids rulers. They have a lot of pre-cuts. Their store is really arranged, very shopper friendly. They're super nice, and they're right up my alley just with the taste. When you walk up on their porch, they have quilts hanging out on their porch, and it's just beautiful as soon as you walk up. But it's Beginnings Quilt Shop. They're in Hendersonville, North Carolina, and their website is beginningsquiltshop.com, and I will try to remember to list that down at the bottom. So I got, where's the other quilt? One of the quilts that I need to bind, I bought this fabric hoping, I had a hard time trying to find this periwinkle color. So I bought this hoping that this will work for the binding on that one. I have a second one that may work, but I've struggled. I've got a couple quilts that I finished a long time ago that I need to bind, and I didn't buy the binding at the time that I bought the quilt stuff, the quilt material, and now it's haunting me a little bit. So I bought those. This, I think this was at the same shop. This is some fabric that I bought to add to the fabric that I'm using for my Barnstar quilt. Barnstar sampler quilt. So they had some yardage of this, and I thought that would be good little filler pieces. They had, is this Tim Holtz? I don't want to tell a story. No, this is Kathy Holden. I'm sorry. Kathy Holden. Cute project bag, right? I keep talking about all these project bags. Have you seen me showing any made project bags? No, because they're all down there in a stack, halfway done. But I have, surely to goodness, I can do it. And then they did have, I always look for script on fabric, and I've talked about that before. I'm always collecting script because I just think it's beautiful. This is a Riley Blake from 2022 art journal is what it's called. Very nice. And then I'm pretty sure, yeah, I think all of these are from the Storyboard line by Tim Holtz. I'm just going to show them real fast. And I was kind of browsing, looking at these, and oops, I dropped it. And my husband came along and he said, that's really neat. So I bought some. Now I bought enough to do some projects bag with some, and then he's going to pick out a quilt pattern for these. So I'm very excited about those. I did some Tim Holtz last quilt camp, and I really liked it. It's just really, really pretty. And then I saw this pattern. This is by Cabin Quilters, cabinquilters.com. It's this little flower collage. And I'm like, you know, I'm dipping my toe in the applique world. I've not been a big applique quilter. I've done a little bit, like over here, those two. But it's been a while. So I was like, I have a ton of batiks, and I have a bunch of that script fabric that I put in a quilt I did last year. I thought that would be good if the flowers were batiks, and then I did the script in the background, is my thought on that. And then, again, we know, I just can't say no to these things. So this one is Filigree by Zen Chic. That's fun, right? So fun, so fun. And then Harvest Wishes by Deb Strain. I love these colors together. It's like navies and teals and oranges. Again, Pam with Just Keep Stitching is doing a cross stitch that has like teal pumpkins in it, and that's what it made me think of. So I had to buy it because I just did. And then this is a layer cake. It's Collection for a Cause etchings. This is benefiting the Parkinson's Foundation. And again, really pretty reds and teals together. I've always thought that was pretty. I have a layer cake book my husband bought me last year sometime. It has several just beautiful quilts in it. I plan on using this to make one of those. And then we went to one more quilt shop. One more duck out script. I don't remember the name of this quilt shop. It was like in a strip. My husband had Googled it and found it. We went in, they had tons of fabric, just tons and tons and tons and tons of fabric. They did not have any, they had some pre-cuts, but it was like store-made pre-cuts. And they had some kits, and they were pretty nice. So at that point, I bought a lot of stuff. So I tried to be good in there. So I bought these two pieces. This is also something that's a contender for the binding on that quilt. This I bought hoping to be a binding for the quilt. I'm going to show you in a minute. But it's not going to work. So again, that's one I'm struggling trying to find a binding for this one. And this is one of my Quilts Giving quilts. And we'll talk about that in a minute. And then I have another quilt that I'm taking to camp to try to get finished. And this is some fabric that they had that is in the same line. Sorry, it's my reminder we got a birthday party today. But this is in the same line. So I got this to kind of do some of the pieces around the blocks. And then I got this for the backing. So that's my quilting haul. I know. All right, so I did send, I'm going to show you, I did send one of my Quilts Giving quilts off. It's back. I just have to get it bound. The other one, I've ordered some batting from Fat Quarter Shop. As soon as that comes in, I'm going to send the other one off. Hopefully so that both of them will be back by the time I'm back from camp. And all I have to do is binding, which will still be pushing it. And even if it's a little bit late, it's not the end of the world. But I want to get them done so I can get them gifted for Thanksgiving. I talked about this in a video a while back. It is my thought process that at Thanksgiving, it would be nice to give an unexpected gift to someone just because you're thankful for them. You know, everybody, you know, you say you don't expect presents, but Christmas presents go with Christmas. That's not what Christmas is about, but there are presents at Christmas time. It's just the norm. Thanksgiving is not a time you hear about presents. So I would like to give a quilt to someone every Thanksgiving just as a, I appreciate you and I'm thankful for you. I was not able to do one last year because we were going to my daughter's graduation. There was a lot going on. I just didn't have time to do it. So I'm trying to do 2 this year. I had done 1 the year before. This is the one that I plan on giving to my sister-in-law. And I showed this to you before it was quilted, but I want to show it to you again just because quilting makes so much difference. So if you can see, let me show you on the back. I told my quilter to do some kind of snowflake, and she did a really good job with her quilting. So my problem is, this is a quilt from several years back. It was a panel and a fabric line. That's terrible, right? But the Christmas fabrics that are out this year, that's the bottom. The fabrics that are out this year, they don't have this shade of blue. I can't find anything with this shade of blue. And I thought that it wouldn't have been an issue because for several years, blue at Christmas was like a thing, but not so much this year. So, but I'll find something and get it bound so I can give that to her at Thanksgiving. Okay, so now last thing, I'm just going to talk about camp for my plans. So camp is coming up. Today's Saturday. I leave for camp Thursday morning. Camp is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We can get into the sewing area at 8 o'clock in the morning, every morning, and stay as late as we want. They lock up the outside doors at a certain time, and we could still get out. We just can't get back in once, you know, everybody's out. I love camp. We go twice a year. I get more done at camp than I do the whole year combined, probably at home. Normally at camp, I take something. I try to take a small quilt that I can do like start to finish there, and then I work on, you know, whatever other things might grab my interest. This year, I have so many new things that I want to start that I need to get some of these other things like knocked out, get them out of the way. So I plan on just taking quilting whips. It's very hard because I want to start some new stuff. But my thought is if I take these to camp and get a few of them knocked out, then I won't feel so bad about starting some new things. So I'm just going to show you real fast what my thoughts are right now for whips that I'm going to take to camp. And I've talked about all these in the video before, so this is just kind of, I don't know, just a refresher. So hopefully some of these will come back finished in the next video that I can show you. The first thing is the quilt along that I'm doing with 3 other friends from camp. I am terribly far behind. I'm not together with this quilt. It is a mystery quilt. The last piece was just given out this week. I've got them all printed off. I've just only done about maybe 4 months out of the 11 that have been released. And the next month is just the final assembly. So it's all done in batiks. And this is my piece that I laugh about. It's actually a dragon head, but it looks like Mr. Magoo. So I'm taking this, and we'll see if it gets any attention. I'm not sure. I've been struggling with that quilt. My fabric choices were not great, and I gotta just power through it. The next one I'm taking is my Home Sweet Home. This was my Liberty box from not this year, but the year before. There's no reason this should not have already been done. But here we are. I think I started it at camp. I don't know if it was last camp or the camp before, but I got to get this done. So I'm down to the point. I have all these blocks done. I have 3 more blocks to do and then assembly. So that should not be an issue. that should be very easy for me to get done. So my plan is that's going to be my Thursday project. Try to get that knocked out. The next thing I'm taking is Barnstar Sampler. It is November. I have 2 months. 2 months. 2 months. And it's not even the two big months. They started this with the biggest blocks, or in the book, everything, it starts with the biggest blocks and then you go down to the smallest blocks. I just picked 2 random months somewhere in the middle and did. So I'm going to take this and hopefully get some work done. The 2 blocks I have done are, I have 3 of this block done. And I have 2 of this block done. So, and I love a red, white, and blue quilt, obviously. I don't know why I'm struggling to get this done. Because there's no time. That's why. I am a quilter, I would say, before I'm a cross stitcher, but I'm getting more cross stitch done because it's so much easier. If you have 10 minutes, you can accomplish something in cross stitch. If you have 10 minutes in quilting, you can't really accomplish anything. So it's a timing issue. Next is Thimble Blossoms, Swoon 16. I still have just that 1 block done. They're all cut out, but I still just have that 1 block done. So that is not something that would be finished at camp unless I didn't take anything else but that. But I do want to try to knock out a couple blocks. The next thing I have is a quilt along that I was doing with Fat Quarter Shop. It was a block of the month. It's Scraps of Kindness by Kim Deal. I have 3 months left. The quilt, I didn't pull it out, but it kind of looks like this. It has spools. So after I finish the Liberty Box quilt, I plan on working on these and getting this done. So like I said, I've got right many blocks done. I just need, I think 2 of those contain blocks and 1 is the finishing. And then this is the one that I bought some fabric for. This is Socialites 2. And I am doing the 6-inch blocks. So I should be able, it's like, I bought 4 yards for the backing. It says 4 1/4. So I could piece it together if I need to, but I wasn't sure. I'm still a little bit unsure about if I'm going to use this setting or just a standard setting, but I've got those. So that's a lot to take, but I should see progress. My hope is that I will have at least 2 finished quilt tops when I leave camp. That would be my Liberty Box, my Scraps of Kindness by Kim Deal, and then we'll see with the other ones. But I think that's a gracious plenty. I will not run out of stuff to do. I also have the little house blocks. I want to do some of those, and I want to work on the hearts for my daughter to give out at Christmas that I've talked about the last couple of videos. So those are my plans for what I want to do at camp. We will see. I haven't seen the girls from camp in a really, really, really long time. I mean, I saw them last camp, and that we had one little outing between camp where we went to a shop, a couple of us. But these are my people. These are my ladies. We have a lot in common, and I miss not seeing them on a weekly basis like we used to. We all met through the shop that my friend had opened, and we used to see each other every weekend, like I said. So it's nice to reconnect with friends and see what everybody's been up to, get a little inspiration. So that's all I have for today. I'm sure I forgot some things. I'm sure I should have mentioned some people when I didn't. But I'm sorry if I didn't mention you, and I should have. I am so appreciative for all of you spending some time with me and giving up a little portion of your day. So I hope between now and the next 2 weeks you get lots of stitching done, lots of quilting done, whichever one is your interest. And I will see you then. Bye, guys.